on to the video. If this is your first time here, my name is Mike. If you've been here before, my name is still Mike, but you would have known that already. Do you ever get the feeling that you've seen this town before? You roll up to a Prairie intersection and there's a grain elevator standing like an old sentinel, a church with its steeple-keeping watch, and maybe a curling rink tucked in behind the post office. And it hits you, deja vu. It's not your mind playing tricks, it's the Alberta Smalltown Blueprint. For years I've been driving dusty roads and dodging potholes to film Alberta's tiniest communities, some thriving, others barely whispering anymore. And what started as curiosity turned into a question I couldn't shake. Were these towns following a template? Because when you film enough of them, you start to notice patterns. Not just grain elevators and train stations, but street layouts and building placements. It's almost like someone somewhere handed out a design manual called How to Build a Prairie Town. So I started digging into old land reports and settlement maps. Turns out, that manual sort of existed. In the early 1900s, the railroads were more than just tracks. They were town-making machines. Settlements were surveyed based on proximity to water, rail access, and soil conditions. The CPR, CN, and even the Grand Trunk Pacific had engineers and land examiners sketching layouts that would be replicated across the prairies. Elevators always near the tracks, a main street pointing towards the train station, and public buildings grouped tightly. It was efficient, it worked, and it spread. You'd think those identical layouts would make towns feel cookie cutter, but they don't. That's the magic. Each place added personality. Painted mural here, a giant pierogi statue there, a museum inside a converted bank. Some leaned into nostalgia. Others quietly reinvented themselves. And yes, some didn't make it. The elevators were torn down, the post office shut its doors, and all that remained was a cemetery and a name on a weathered sign. But even the towns that vanished still fit the blueprint. It's like Alberta left breadcrumbs across the map, and when I look back at the footage I've gathered from the thriving centers to the near-forgotten stops, I see more than buildings. I see ambition, design, repetition, and resilience. Because maybe the blueprint isn't just about where the church sits or which way the streets run. Maybe the real pattern is how these communities tried to hold on. Through floods, fires, busted rail lines, grain price crashes, they held on. Some for 100 years and some for 100 people. So yeah, when I see a grain elevator on the horizon, I already know the story might rhyme with others I've heard. But I also know it'll have its own twist, and that's why I keep filming. So if you've enjoyed this little journey, give that like button a tap. It's free and oddly satisfying. If you haven't subscribed yet, just know I share a new small town story every week, weather permitting, of course. Feel free to pass this along to your aunt, your neighbor, or that one friend who still thinks Alberta ends at Calgary. They need this more than they know. And you'll find gradient imaging on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok because apparently I'm not busy enough. But until next week, drive safe, wave at strangers, and take the scenic route.